Welcome back to another episode on the Bodybuilding News Network, specifically another episode of Bodybuilding Today. In this episode, we're going to do the most voted video topic from the most recent poll on the YouTube community tab in this channel. So you guys voted that you wanted to see Phil Klahar versus the top two at this year's most recent 2021 Texas Pro in the Men's Open to see how everything scores out. If we give each competitor their time with the specific shots in the center, we're going to vote it all together. We're going to compare. We're going to give first, second, third, and by the end of it, we're going to see who has gotten the most points, and then based off that, that'll be the person that hypothetically should have won. But before we get into the video, I want to thank today's sponsor, peakperformancelabs.ca. They are a supplement company out of Canada. They partnered with us for the month of August, so we really appreciate them coming on board and supporting this channel. Recently, they just let me know that for all US customers, they have free shipping. It doesn't matter if it's one bottle of nuclear pre or nuclear intra, anything like that, or nuclear power. It doesn't matter if it's one or five, you're going to get the free shipping. So if you guys are looking to stock up on your pre-workout or supplements in general, and you are shopping, ensure you guys check out peakperformancelabs.ca and use sponsored athlete code or sponsored microphone code Sanj10 at checkout. But besides that, let's go ahead and get into today's video. Now, this is going to be a little out of order, but we're going to go through all of Ian's shots, all of Phil's shots, and then all of Steve's shots. So that's how we're going to go moving forward. And I've got my handy dandy notepad out. So let's go ahead and start off with the Ian in the middle, ab and thigh. Now, when you're thinking about this shot, you're looking at, for me, you're looking at the shoulders, the chest, the abs, obviously the thighs, right? Maybe even the calves if they're into the shot. The serratus anteriors, the obliques with those abs. And if I'm being honest, I think my eyes are going to, Steve from the upper body looks really, really impressive. But then also Phil Klahar's legs look really, really impressive. But if I'm being honest, my eyes go to Steve for this shot. So I'm going to give it to Steve. The next shot is the back double bicep, Ian in the middle. And I don't think there's any discussion here. My eyes just go to Phil. He's just so much, he has a lot more round muscle, 3D muscle in the back. And even with people saying that he has small legs, from this very specific photo, I think that the legs don't take away from that overall package. The shredded glutes, I think, look fantastic. Now, Ian has, conditioned glutes. They're just really round. They're not sharp. And it just really isn't aesthetically pleasing in my opinion. And then, if we're looking at Steve, he's a lot bigger, he's thick. It's just the muscle isn't as 3D. It's not as round as Phil Klahar's upper back. So for this one, for the back double bicep with Ian in the middle, I'm going to give this one to Phil. Next shot is the rear lat spread. Again, I feel like my eyes are going to Phil Klahar with the back, the 3D muscle, the trap definition, just the way the traps are structured from the upper to mid traps, the lower lat insertions and how they just sweep, kind of like Kai Green's do or did. But in the same conversation, I feel like Ian and Steve's legs in this specific shot look a lot thicker, but Phil's look more defined. And I'm more of a conditioning person, in my opinion. That's usually what I see. It's what my eyes go to. So although I feel like Steve has a wider back, it's not as conditioned, or at least it doesn't give the illusion that it's as conditioned. So I'm going to give this one to Phil as well. Next is the front double bicep with Ian in the middle. Now, I don't think there's much of an argument that this isn't Ian's favorite shot. And also, I feel like this isn't Phil's greatest shot. I feel like this is a very comfortable win for Steve Kuklo when it comes to the front double bicep. So he'll probably win all of these ones. But I'm going to give Steve the front double bicep with Ian in the middle. Now, front lat spread, I feel like is a different conversation. I feel like this is one of Ian's best shots. And if I'm being honest with myself, I really want to take my time and really look through this. When the show was going on, I thought Phil had this shot 1,000,000%. But in this specific photo with Ian in the middle, I feel like Ian is winning this shot. He might not have the biggest chest when we're looking at this specific shot and how he holds it, but I feel like he looks more conditioned than Steve. And I'm just a conditioning guy. As long as the structure, as long as the muscle isn't too egregiously smaller than other competitors. Um, I wish Phil was holding his stomach just a little different, more tight, as it kind of gets washed out when it looks lower. And that's something I critiqued him for at Tampa. I'm a huge Phil fan, but I'm going to be fair across the board. So although Steve has a very impressive chest and it's very wide, I feel like my eyes are being drawn to Ian for the front lat spread with Ian in front. So I'm going to give Ian his first point. Now, the most muscular, we're going to talk about this a little bit later. So I'm going to hold on to that thought. But when I'm looking at this shot with Ian in the front for the most muscular, my eyes go to Phil. The striations, the cross striations in the pecs, the shredded delts, the biceps, the defined quads. And then with this specific shot for Phil, his midsection is completely contracted. The whole six pack just looks fantastic. Ian's midsection looks great, and it's something we couldn't see in the live stream. So the photos really speak a lot of justice to why Ian won. But if I'm being honest, I still think Phil wins this shot. Next up is the side chest. This is Ian's shot all day. This is one of his favorite shots, but I'm not going to give it to him right off the bat. So let's go ahead and look at all the competitors and let's see how this breaks down. Now, when I pull this up, I think, okay, this is Ian's shot. He's got this. But then I start looking at Phil. Phil looks way more full, a lot wider, if that makes sense. The way his muscle sits, how full it is, and how shredded it is gives him the illusion that he's wider when they're probably like clavicle to delt ratio. Like they're probably 60 inches around, or I don't even know what the pro level is, but they look like they're the same width, but Phil just really explodes. He looks a lot wider. The legs, this is probably where he loses a lot of points here, is with the leg, but if this is a side chest, so we should be focusing mostly on the chest with a addition of that side leg. This isn't just a side leg shot. So I feel like Ian is really winning with the side hamstring drop and the quad, and just how he places, how he does the pose is fantastic. It's probably the best in the league. Despite maybe like a Rami or a Bonac or a Hadi, something like that. But although Phil doesn't present his legs in the best way with this shot, I still feel like he's winning with that upper body, with the side chest. I feel like his chest, his arms, the brachialis, all that is beating out the other guys. Steve looks really, really full. He looks great. It's just my eyes go to Phil with just that cross striation in the chest, the arms. It's just a very impressive shot. Very close on this one, but I'm going to give this one to Phil as well. Next, we have the side tricep with Ian in the middle. Now, this one is kind of interesting because I've noticed that Phil transitions out of the shot very quickly. And it's so quickly that the other competitors haven't even gotten into the shot long enough for me to get all three of them doing the same variation of the side tricep. As you can see, he's already turned to the front. So that's definitely a criticism for Phil. If you're watching, brother, stay in that shot a little bit longer, or just find like a Rolly. He doesn't even do like a traditional side tricep. Like maybe think of something like that. If it's not a good shot for you, think about finding ways to hide your weaknesses and present your strong points in the best way possible. But if I'm being honest, which is what I want to do in this video, I don't want to be very biased at all. My eyes go to Steve, actually. Now, Ian has a crazy leg. It's very, very impressive. It actually takes your eyes, it pulls your eyes to it a lot. But if I'm being honest and I look at Steve, I feel like there's just more tricep here. This is a side tricep shot. And if you're looking at Ian, I, it makes me feel like I'm being a dick, but I'm not. I don't see any triceps. I'm just being honest. I don't see any tricep here. It's very flat, great chest, great abs, fantastic legs, best side leg shot of the show. But this is a side tricep and there's no tricep. Whereas even with Phil, he's not showing the side leg, but you can still see that tricep exploding out of his arm. And then even with Steve, you can see that big slab of tricep, although it's not, you can't see the horseshoe, you can't see all the heads of the tricep, you can still see the tricep. So for Ian in the middle, for the side tricep, I'm going to give this one to Steve. Now, again, ab and thigh. Now, I said I was going to talk about this as we transition to Phil in the middle. I've noticed that when I was looking through all the photos, Ian took his sweet time transitioning into the ab and thigh. And then even with this shot, this is the best shot I could get with the other competitors flexing their abs and thighs. Even then, it just isn't a great shot for him. So I'm wondering if this isn't one of Ian's strong shots. And he kind of like go on the NPC News Online and check out the stage, the comparison shots when you go to the competition, men's bodybuilding, and there's a comparisons tab. Click that. It's like page 6. Look at it. It's really interesting. He's like half the time he's like standing there like wiping off oil and he's not doing the shot. And I thought it was really interesting. I just wanted to point that out. But if I'm being honest, this shot is Steve's. I don't think this is Phil's favorite shot, although there's more separation in the leg. Steve is just so massive in this shot. He's so wide. And, you know, I guess having your eyes open or closed doesn't really matter, but that kind of pulls me away from that shot specifically. So if I'm being honest, which I want to be here, I'm going to give this one to Steve as well. Next, we're with Phil in the middle, if you guys lost track, but with Phil in the middle for the back double bicep. Again, I just feel like all day this is Phil's shot. The back double, the back lat, no arguments. Now, even with me saying that, I feel like Steve is pushing him. Steve is definitely pushing him here. The legs look a lot sharper. So I think the farther they or the longer that they started posing, the more they're on stage and running them through with the judges really working them, I feel like Steve was getting sharper. But overall, I feel like Phil's going to win all these back shots. So with Phil in the middle for the back double, I'm going to give this one to Phil. With the back lat spread, I'll take a second before I give it to Phil. Let's look. Hamstrings, Phil. Glutes, Phil. Lower back. The lower back, debatably Steve. Upper back with the rhomboids, the delts, the triceps. It's Phil all day. Traps, Phil. The shot's Phil. Phil in the middle with the back lat spread goes to Phil. Next, front double bicep. Again, I feel like Steve's going to be winning these all day. All day. This isn't really the way Phil's holding this. I think he could probably try to do a more classic look on this. He kind of has like that Dexter Jackson midsection happening just a little bit when he's not contracting it. And it looks like the turtle shell, some of you said in the comments. So like I acknowledge that, but I think it's only in specific shots at specific times when he's not controlling it, when it's not really contracted. Whereas again, I've mentioned a few times in this video, when we're looking at Ian in a lot of these shots, the live stream didn't pick up a lot of conditioning and separation. Like you can see Ian's shredded midsection in this shot, whereas on the live stream you couldn't. No disrespect to Ian, there's just not really much chest here with just how he holds the shot. It is what it is. I don't know if he can fix that. But for the front double bicep, I'm going to give it to Steve. Front lat spread, I really like Phil's legs with the separation. I think Ian has a great chest. He has great lats. And Steve has amazing chest, great lats, great midsection. This is a bad shot for Ian because the abs, it looks like he's in the middle of breathing. So it looks like it's blown out a little bit. Same with Phil, like the midsection's kind of blown out because he's breathing. So although I feel like I want to give this one to Phil, I might actually give this one to Steve just because he's holding it perfectly in this exact moment. The midsections tight, controlled, shredded obliques, shredded midsection, the chest full, up, presented well. I'd like to see more conditioning in the quads. That'll happen at the Arnold's, I'm assuming. Hopefully, I'd like to really see that from Steve. So with Phil in the middle for the front lat spread. Now, most muscular. Here's another tough one because I think Ian holds this really well. It's just the way he holds it. It's like really, really narrow, and that's how he's always done it. Even when he did the Toronto Pro in 2018, when he had the white hair, I remember he held it like that. And it's impressive, but it makes him look really narrow. Whereas how Phil and Steve are holding it makes him look wide as a house. So between Steve and Phil, I'm looking at the midsections, I'm looking at the chest, the delts, the arms, even the traps, the quads, and even the calves. And I think at the end of the day, I think Phil is winning this shot. The separation in the feathering and the quads. I mean, you can see the cross striations in the teardrops. So I feel like this is a pretty strong case for Phil taking this shot. Side chest with Phil in the middle. Again, I feel like this is Ian's shot to lose. He's really known for the shot. The leg is fantastic. The chest looks great. He's pushing that shoulder over. It looks really full. I mean, look at the conditioning and separation, the striations in that arm that's coming across. Like, this is just such a great shot for Ian. And Phil, again, I just feel like he just looks really, really good in this shot. But he's losing size in that hamstring, and it might just be the way he holds it. I don't know. I'm really looking forward to seeing in 2022, unless Phil is going to do something in the winter before the competitive season shuts down. I really would like to see him hit these side shots with a different way of using the leg. And then with Steve here, I feel like he's big, he's full. I think he could have opened up a little bit wider, so this might not have been the best time. I'm sure there's a better photo. I want to give it to Phil, but I just feel like the legs are just so debatable in this specific picture. I think I'm going to give this one to Ian. So with Phil in the middle, side chest, I'm going to give it to Ian. It's just such an impressive shot for Ian. I feel like although Phil is wider up top, or at least is perceived to be wider the way he presents it, the leg discrepancy is just a little too. Same thing with the side try. You can see that we've caught everybody before they turned. Well, I mean, Steve's kind of already turning, but it's definitely not Phil's shot here. Again, with the leg, I'm not going to keep harping it. I feel like this is a really solid shot for Ian, although the tricep really isn't being presented. Whereas like Steve, you can see the tricep. Ian, it's just, I don't know. I'm really let me know down below what you guys think that is. Like, is it because his arm isn't flexed, so it's kind of just showing like the pure girth of the arm, whereas like the tricep isn't extended, so like the heads aren't contracted fully? Let me know down below. But I feel like I have to give this one to Ian as well, just because these side shots are just monster shots for Ian. So with Phil in the middle, I'll give it to Ian for the side try. Back double bicep. Let's be fair. Let's look. Upper body with the chest or with the back, lower back, arms, traps, delts. Phil all day. Debatably, Ian looks like he's a little bit more conditioned, but Steve looks wider because his lats insert lower. But I feel like the conditioning sets Phil apart. So with Steve in the middle, we're on to Steve in the middle. Back double, I'm going to give it to Phil again. Front double bicep between Ian and Steve. No disrespect to Phil. I just don't think this is his shot right now. I'm going to give this one to Steve. Debatably, Ian has better arms, but Steve has a better chest. And I feel like the chest is a big piece of this shot. So although Ian, I think his legs are more conditioned and the separation is better, I still think I'm going to give it to Steve. So with Steve in the middle for the front double, I'll give it to Steve. Steve in the middle for the front lat spread, I want to give it to Steve. He looks really, really wide, especially with him in the middle. I think Ian won it last time, but Phil's looking good in this shot. But again, his midsection isn't as tight as it is with like his most muscular, where he has his hands on hips. I wish he could transition that midsection control from the most muscular hands on hips into that front lat spread. Quads, Phil all day. Midsection, Steve. Chest, Steve. Arms, I think if we break it down, I think Steve's strengths outweigh the lacking of conditioning in his quads. Although I think Phil, no question about it, conditioning wins for him. I just think that Steve, his strengths outweigh the weaknesses in this specific shot. So with Steve in the middle for the front lat spread, I will give this one to Steve as well. Most muscular, mostly everyone's doing hands clasped, except Steve is doing a crab. And with this one, I feel like this is a Phil shot. The biceps, the brachialis, even the triceps, the shoulder peak and roundness, the trap separation, conditioning, striations in the chest, complete shredded borderline 8-pack, and even in the quads, this is Phil's shot all day. So I'll give this one to Phil. Side chest with Steve in the middle. Again, I want to give it to Phil, but the hamstring I feel is pulling it away enough to where I have to give it to either Steve or Ian. If we're looking at the legs, I think Ian has better legs, especially when we look at the glute to hamstring tie-in, the separation, the cross striations with the glutes, the hamstring drop. I mean, even the calves don't look too bad in this shot. Chest goes to Steve. Shoulders go to Ian. Arms go to Ian. I think the side chest goes to Ian again. Although it looks like he's mid-breath, so the midsection is probably blown out. He hides it with the hands. So good call on Ian's part there. But for Steve in the middle, for the side chest, I'm going to give it to Ian. Side tricep, I remember this shot very well. These two stacked on top of each other really well, where like they weren't fighting elbows that much. Side tricep, again, I feel like I got to give this one to Ian. I think he's getting sharper the longer that they are posing. Although he's not showing much for tricep, that's the last time I'll bring it up. I'm not going to keep like harping on people for something like that. Hamstring, quad, glute is Ian. Midsection, debatably Steve, because he's just opened up more. Chest, Steve. Delts, Steve. Triceps, Steve. Well, it's a tough one. Do I give this one to Steve? What do you guys think? Steve? I think Steve gets this one. Steve in the middle, side tricep. This one goes to Steve. That's it. That's all of them. That is all the comparisons from the NPC News Online. I believe this is from prejudging of the top 3 at this year's 2021 Texas Pro. If we tally it up, I don't even have to do the math. It looks like Phil beat out Steve by a couple points. So for the Bodybuilding News Network and for Sanch Bodybuilding, my analysis is that Phil wins the 2021 Texas Pro just based off of the mandatories, going through the mandatories, and based off the specific pictures that I picked. It could be interpreted as bias. It really wasn't, guys, just being honest. Phil wins by a close margin, with Steve in second with about 8 points, and Ian in third with, I believe, 4 points. But this is where it matters most. Let me know down below how you guys felt about the comparisons. Let me know how you scored it. Go through the video, rewatch the video, mute me so you don't have to hear me jabbering on all day. Rewatch the video, pause, give your own analysis, and comment below. Let me know how you guys scored it. Did Phil win the way I had it, or did Ian win the way the judges at the Texas Pro had it? Or did you have the hometown favorite, Steve Kuklo, win the Texas Pro? Let me know down below, guys. I appreciate all the support. It's been an amazing month for me. July and August has been amazing. We've had over 200,000 views on this channel. We're reaching almost 2,000 subscribers. We're getting there. It's amazing to see it happen. I know it sounds corny, but like this is one of my dreams, is to be a bodybuilding analyst, journalist, being at the shows and doing these interviews with the athletes. That's what I really want to do. You know, I'm in the Army full time. That's what I do. But if I could ever have the opportunity to fly to these shows and commentate, or just do interviews backstage with my own little backdrop, I would love to do that. That'd be that'd be a dream of mine. And I'm sure the cats would agree as well. But let me know down below how you guys felt about that. If you guys are shopping for supplements, make sure you guys check out our sponsor for this video, peakperformancelabs.ca. Free shipping for all US customers. And especially if you want to save even more money, besides the free shipping, use Sanch10 at checkout. So there will be a post on Instagram for the next poll to see what video you guys want to see next on the channel. So hop over to the Bodybuilding News Network, bodybuilding_news_network, and vote on the story. I'll also post on the wall so you can comment and let me know what you guys want to see next. That's going to be, it's going to help me grow that Instagram channel. And then it's also going to help me get to know you guys a little bit more, so I can follow you on Instagram and we can really get to know each other. Like Caesar, Jessica, all you guys, like head over to Instagram, follow me so we can communicate a little bit better, because I appreciate all of you commenting in the comment sections below. But specifically my all-stars, I really appreciate you guys always commenting. It's really fun to interact with you guys. So let me know what videos you guys want to see next on the most recent Instagram post. You'll see it. The link's in the bio or the description of the video. But that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching another video. I appreciate it. I genuinely appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next one. My name's Sanch, your host, and I'll see you in the next video.